it is time to make the sound to summon the stream. Greetings, dear viewers. I'm Coiled Quickcard, and welcome back. We have not been here a while, but we are finally back with the RPG Maker MV Community Project. Sorry, MZ Community Project. It has been quite a while since we worked on this. I went through my depression arc. I got distracted with a crap ton of other projects. You know, I had my various other things going on. When was the last one we did? March 30th. It has been nearly in a full month since I last worked on this project. And I cannot wait to go back into it. I spent the last 20 minutes going over my notes from before, going over my reference sheets from before. So I know where we are. I know what we're doing. I'm not going to have to spend too much time catching myself back up. Today we are going to be building a few interiors. We're going to be finally doing the event where we meet Mr. Bones, where we get the, briefing, a little more explanation as to what's going on. And eventually that's going to lead toward opening up the Catacombs dungeon underneath Wallachia. And that's going to be like the next major dungeon. And I'm actually thinking that's probably going to be like a really major dungeon, like a central hub area and then several wings leading off of it. Multiple tasks required in multiple locations as you seek out this false Hydra and try to save the city. So there is a lot to be done today. I think one of the first things I want to do is test out this boss that I had built last time. The Domination Fungus. Ooh. Okay, that's a hell of a boss. Honestly, it's probably worth going green for the physical resistance. Alright, we've got our physical protections. Malter line goes up, naturally. Whoops, that was the wrong spell. I meant to do enrichment. Okay, Thatcher. Elena. Let's go for prayer. You didn't take those hits, Elena. Interesting. We've got Wing Buffet. Let's go ahead and full screen this for now. Malter. Malter, you unfortunately drained all of your stuff. So go ahead and pop a monster. Thatcher. Oh, I hate this thing. Thatcher's basically just going to be trying to keep up on heal duty. That's curious. So far, not a single attack has gone to Elena. Alright, Wing Buffet. Malter. Yeah, bottle opener sounds good. Uh-oh. Okay, Elena's asleep. That's bad. Ryu. Let's go with Dragon Roar. Okay, so Elena's thing is active. Let's also go for a Baja Blast. So now it has reduced defenses and it can't use its special effects. Let's drop an Ice Storm. Wing Buffet. Very good. Malter, attack! Very good. Elena. I kind of need healing. Thatcher, take this. Good job, Elena. Malter. Let's actually drop the enrichment now. Ice Storm. Dragon Roar. We've got this thing pretty much locked down. Malter, regular attacks. Let's go. Ryu, keep up with the Dragon Roars. Thatcher, more Ice Storm. Okay. That works. So this will be my new save. That's an okay boss fight. It's honestly pretty damn strong. But I think it works. So then we move up in here, we see the undead city, we meet Mr. Bones. Mr. Bones leads us out. Mr. Bones, we go on his little canoe. He takes us over here, drops us off, goes into his house, and then we go into his house and we have a scene. That's the way this is going to go. What I need now is Mr. Bones. So I started working on Mr. Bones. Honestly, it's probably best to go with Bald. I definitely want him to be very pale. Do I want to go pure white? I think this works. This one has more like a sickly pallor to it. We want to go with smaller ears. Yeah, I think that's good. No beard. Eyes. So, Mr. Bones is, in fact, already dead. So, what eyes work? They should be, like, very dead eyes. Hmm. I think those kind of work. We could also go for bigger eyes that are just like dead. That might work. Yeah, I think that's okay. No eyebrows. As far as a mouth, mm, okay, I think that works. A facial mark. We can probably do something interesting with this. Like there's some eyeshadow. Does just some eyeshadow work? I don't really think that's necessary. I think it's better going for something like this. There we go. That looks like a nice bit of scarring. No tails, wings, or beast ears. Now, ideally something on the head. What would look good on the head? So they are a gravekeeper. So it's probably going to be something pretty simple. That might work. That might work. I kind of like that. I think this real simple hat, if we just lower it down some more, is probably the best option. And we just sort of make it like a nice dull color. No, it's too big. It's not going to work without hair. That is way too big. Headband. Bandage might work. Yeah, I think this like a white bandage over the head. I think that looks okay. Ooh, I could add glasses. All of these just seem a bit too big. Nah, screw the glasses. This will be good enough. We'll just create a new page called Special NPCs. And a new page called Special NPCs. Alright, there we go. So this is going to be Mr. Bones. Sounds good. So I can use the boss to check a switch. How far am I? Okay, that is way too much. All right. Oh, right. Right. I didn't adjust the clothing. Oh, I am so silly. Okay. So you are the humble gravekeeper. So you are going to be dressed in very basic, very simple clothing. Most of the detail we see is going to be seen in the face, so I think this is going to work. Again, we want to go for very dull, very muted colors. The undershirt. I think we need to go black for the undershirt. And then lastly, I have no idea what this color is even referring to, but that's fine. The sprite is a little dull, though, is the problem. Okay, yeah, a bit of... Okay, that works for Mr. Bones. So let's actually fix that. There we go. And adjust the walking one. There we go. Okay, that's better. So we're going to run into Mr. Bones here. When we get here, we'll have an event where everybody just kind of looks up. Let's run that. Let's run that here. Okay. Scene activation and Elena. That's going to activate when you touch it. And we're going to need other spots as well. So this is going to be Malter. This is going to be Thatcher. And the terminus has no sound, which is good. So you'll get up here. First, it will activate a self switch so that it doesn't do this again. Then we're going to fade out. While we fade out, the player is going to move right, 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 and turn up, which would put them here. Perfect. Then we are going to change the player followers to off. Then we are going to change the various scenes. So you'll become Elena and you will turn up. You will become Malter and you will turn up. And you will become Thatcher and you will turn up. Good. Okay. And we'll wait a second, and then we will fade in. And then we'll wait another second. And this is when we're going to start having text. And we are going to start with Elena going, What is this place? And Granny will be like, it looks like a city full of dead people. Alright, let's get some music in here while we work on this. Nah. 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 We need something creepier than that. There we go. That seems thematically appropriate. Ah, I do love my tea. Okay, so that is Thatcher, Malter, and Elena. So they are all in the proper order. We're going to give them all a normal walking rate. Good, and then this will apply for Mr. Bones as well. Good. Okay. So we've got a scene going. Look. It looks like a city. Full of zombies. Elena will reply, "It's ghastly." And the whole scene starts with Ryu having an exclamation mark. We're also going to have it activate a switch. And that swing is going to be Bones Introduction. Then we're going to have Bones Boat. Then we're going to have Boat North Check. That's going to be an important one. We're going to have Bones Briefing. These are all switches that we're going to use in the course of the events. So we start with Bones Introduction. Now, this same location, if you try to touch it with Bones Introduction on, it'll move the player 2 spots to the right. And we'll have Elena, like, you can't just go back. We have to follow him. Good. And then once the Bones Briefing is done, then this spot is not going to do anything. It won't block your path anymore. But this will prevent the players from being able to backtrack until they have seen the Bones Introduction. Now, I can foresee the soft lock issue, because ultimately this is going to end you up here, which is going to take you back to Wallachia proper. But then if you circled back around to the overworld and went in here again and backtracked to the same location, it would kick you out. So, what I need to do is keep the player in this area until the briefing is done. So if Bones Introduction is on, then it will do this, activating on Event Touch. And we'll go back to Elena. We have to find out what Mr. Bones knows. And then once Bones Briefing is done, this event will not do anything at all. So we have to keep the player in this area until we do that. So in this location, we want the player to move up instead. Okay. That should do it. That should stop the player from leaving this area until they finish the briefing with Mr. Bones. So that potential problem has now been eliminated. And this is where we have the first line of text from Mr. Bones. But it's not going to show a face yet. We'll have him say... That's a bit rude, I think. Okay. And then we'll have another exclamation point. And we're not going to wait. Instead, the player is going to turn right. And so is everybody else. So Elena faces right. Malter faces right. Thatcher faces right. And we wait. So Elena demands who's there. Okay. And from this position, we want to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spaces right. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Copy all that. There we go. And on this one, we wait. And then Elena will exclaim in shock. Mr. Bones, what are you doing here? And Mr. Bones. Says, hello, Elena. Mr. Bones, what are you doing here? Then Mr. Bones is going to turn left. And... I am checking on these poor people, of course. And balloon icon, player, question, wait for completion. Okay. Alright, there's actually a fair bit of information that has to be exchanged here. So, it's probably going to be best to outline it first. Let's actually stop the music. Headphones down. Let's outline the conversation. Okay. So, the important information that has to be shared. Okay. Number one, Mr. Bones is dead. Number two, Mr. Bones has been trying to investigate the false Hydra. Number 3, the undead are trying to get into the city to find the false Hydra. Number 4, Elena had a sister who has been killed by the false Hydra and been forgotten. 5, Wallachia is meant to be a city of life and death, but it has been forgotten due to the false Hydra. 6, the false Hydra is in the catacombs under the city. 7, the catacombs can be accessed from the movable grave. So these are the big pieces of information. Over the course of the next few scenes, this is what I need to indicate. I also need to indicate you can use the boat to go back to the Terminus tunnel. Okay. And yeah, that should be fine. Okay. So this is every piece of information that I need to get across over the course of the exposition. So how do I do this? So in the tunnel, I need to have Mr. Bones make it clear he is not a threat. Have Mr. Bones invite the party to his home to talk. Have Mr. Bones say that he knows what is going on and needs help to stop it. In Bones's house, the things we need are Mr. Bones' backstory, Wallachia backstory, Elena's missing sister, where to find the false Hydra, and how to enter the catacombs. Okay. Okay. That makes sense. Outside the tunnel, we need to have Mr. Bones say that you can use the boat anytime to go back. Okay. So we have a rough outline of what information we need to share and when we are going to share it. Okay. Let's go back into the event creation. Checking on these poor people, of course. And he'll follow that up by saying, without a will to guide them. These ones are nothing more than without a will to guide them, these ones are lost and aimless. Okay. Then we'll have more questions. Okay, how do I do this? Elena will demand, what do you know about all this? And Bones will reply, peace, please. I am trying to stop the disappearances I have been trying to stop the disappearances around the city. Though it has proven to be far more challenging than I expected. And ultimately clarify we are on the same side. Just to unequivocally make that clear. Okay, that takes care of the first step. And the second, and pop down another line from Elena. Okay. We'll have Elena say Why haven't you told anyone? Or, yeah, why haven't you told anyone? That works well enough. And we'll have Mr. Bones turn up. Maybe a balloon icon on them. No, that's fine. Bones will turn up and we'll say, I have. Those few I told were taken. And with their loss, so too did all memory of what they and with their loss, so too did all memory of what they shared. Shared with others. Those two I told first. Okay, we can adjust this a little bit. Okay. And that is when we'll have the player with the silence for a rather kind of like shocked disbelief. And Elena's kind of in like a shocked silence as well. We'll give it a couple seconds of awkward silence. And then Mr. Bones will turn left again. And will speak. Wallachia is in more danger than you realize. Please, follow me. I will explain everything. I think that you may be able to help. Okay. That is fine. So this turns on the Bones introduction, which is good. So then we're going to copy this set of movements again. And we're just going to go with 3 movements to the right. There we go. What the hell? How long has it been like that? Okay. Apparently, at some point, I clicked a button. Oh, God. It happened when I hit page down, didn't it? Okay. Sorry about that. I hit a button that switched to the end screen. It wasn't supposed to do that. Basically, I've just been continuing to work on the event. Nothing really important or crazy to worry about. And this one will transfer back into the terminus here, facing down. That's fine. Okay. Let's test the scene. Okay. What is this place? It looks like a city full of zombies. It's ghastly. That's a bit rude, I think. Who's there? Hello, Elena. Mr. Bones, what are you doing here? Okay, so already a couple things that need to be fixed. We are moving too far to the right. So get rid of one of the rights on all of this. Okay. And continue. What is this place? Looks like a city full of zombies. It's ghastly. That's a bit rude, I think. Who's there? Hello, Elena. Mr. Bones, what are you doing here? I am checking on these poor people, of course. Without a will to guide them, these ones are lost and aimless. What do you know about all this? Peace, please. I've been trying to stop the disappearances around the city, though it has proven to be far more challenging than I expected. We are on the same side. Why haven't you told anyone? I did. Those few I told first were taken, and with their loss, so did all memory of what they shared with others. Okay. Wallachia is in more danger than you realize. Please follow me. I will explain everything. I think you may be able to help. Okay. And I didn't put a fade in. That's great. Also, it is way too dark. Um... Yeah, let's go with night. And some of the initial waiting period is simply too long. Okay. Reduce that. Uh, I think what happened is that I ran into Mr. Bones here, and it was on a wait command, and I wasn't able to ignore the order, so it basically got locked, and I wasn't able to pass him. So transparent and through on Mr. Bones. Once the Mr. Bones introduction is done, then Mr. Bones will not appear here at all. Good. Alright, let's take a look. Coloring should be better. Okay, yeah, I think that's a little better. It's definitely easier to see. Oh. Okay. So we need to move the Bones introduction switch activation until here, I think. That should be better. It is a slow, iterative process, but it works. Okay, good. Wallachia is in more danger than you realize. Please follow me. I will explain everything. Okay. That is good. The last thing I need here is to wait for that movement completion before we fade in. And at that point, we also want this silence icon not to wait. And the Bones introduction is on, so we want to make sure that we test that as well. Okay. Good. Okay. So it shouldn't let me go back. We can't just go back, we have to follow him. We can't just go back, we have to follow him. Good. The transition works. Okay. The barrier block is functional. And we do climb down the ladder. That's good. This boat is good, so it needs to land over here, one spot away from the rock. Good to know. Alright, let's test the test the barriers. Okay. Good. Very good. Okay. Now we want to turn on Bones Briefing. Okay, so with Bones Briefing active, the barriers disappear. Good. Okay, so I need one more level of height on that map. That'll be easy enough to pull off. And, okay. So when briefing is on, all the barrier blocks disappear. That's absolutely perfect. That's what I was hoping to achieve. Let's go layer 1. There we go. And up on layer 2. There. Okay, that's taken care of. Tile sets. Dungeon. In area B, ladder. Yes. You're running the outside tile set. No, they should only be ever facing the ladder. I don't fully understand why they're not. It's probably something automatic that I need to fix. Oh, okay. I never... Alright. I never added the ladder flag to the dungeon tile set bits that I added. Okay, that's fine. That's completely fine. Next thing I want to do is I want to make the boat work. So... Alright, this is going to be a thing. So it's going to move a little bit slower. And basically first the player gets through on and moves down. Then the player becomes transparent. And then we gather followers. And then we change the followers to off. Then the boat needs to go on to a movement. Okay. So it's 1 down, a bunch of lefts. So we need 3 more lefts. And then down. Okay, just like that. And then the player turns transparent off, moves down, turns through off, and then we turn player followers on, and then we gather followers. And that's what I wasn't running here. Okay. Oh, no. What we want to move specifically is this event. Okay. But at the same time, we are also going to have the player move the same path after lowering their speed to slower. And then on the far end, we change their speed back to normal. We'll change speed back to normal on this command. Okay. And we will change the speed lowering to happen here. Okay. And this event just turns left on the other side. So I should have a functional boat now. Let's test the boat. There we go. Okay, ladder works like I want it to. Ah. Okay. It helps if the boat has a through command on it. Also, we need to take the transparent on and move it after the gather followers. Okay. Boat test, part 2. Okay. Good. Okay, that is perfect. Okay, so I'm seeing a slight problem. Okay. All right. So we're going to have to make a couple changes here. First off, another log here. This we're actually going to have to move here. So we're going to need 2 extra move lefts, which means that we are also going to need 2 extra move lefts on the player order. We want to make sure that this boat is not visible from anywhere on this shore, because we're going to have a duplicate boat here, which will carry you over here. So one of the first things we want to do here is turn on boat north check. Okay. So if boat north check is on, then this is invisible. And this is going to be boat south, which is fine. And then up here, boat south check. Okay. So now let's reverse engineer all of this. Boat south check. Instead of move down, you move up. Hold on. Is this... Okay, it is only accessible from the south. That's good. So move up. A whole bunch of rights. Oh, nice. Move up and turn left. Okay. Copy all of those commands and paste them here. Okay. Good. And then the player, again, will move up. Okay. That's fine. Then we will turn off the switch boat south check. And we will set the event location of this event back to here with direction facing right. And this might be all we need to make this work. Okay. And instead of a turn left, we're going to put a turn right here. All right, boat check. Did I make the boat work? Oh, man. I do love my tea. Okay. Good. We're following the boat perfectly. Okay, that's good. And now, when we take the boat back... Okay, so we're going to want to run a direction fix toggle. I think the boat works perfectly. And there is nowhere you can reach within the city itself that lets you see that there is a duplicate boat. And there's nowhere from this side where you can see that there is a duplicate boat. That is perfect. So we're going to add a direction fix flag to each one. And we are going to add a direction fix off. And then a direction fix on at the end of its movement line. So direction fix off. Oh, no. Direction fix off. Direction fix on. Okay. Direction fix off, direction fix on. That should work. Let's also move the gather followers at the end to after, or to before we change the visible followers. So that we hopefully don't get that thing where we are just seeing all of our party members walking across the water. Okay. You know, it's kind of weird, but one of my older, most popular videos uh, has actually started getting a whole bunch more views again after, like, a year of just silence. Oh. Okay, that was weird. Yeah, that was really weird. Okay. No, I think all we can do is yeah, we're just going to have to accept that we're just going to have to accept that the followers walk across the water. That's just all we can do here. I mean, I guess I could put a fade out, fade in. Like, it's not going to be a long thing, but it makes it feel like not quite as seamless. Now, I do need to add a few things here. So this is only going to appear if the bones introduction is active. And then if bones... Okay. Okay, the boat only works if you've done Bones briefing. If you haven't done Bones briefing, then the boat will not actually take you back. I think that's important. It'll just have Elena saying something. We can just copy her dialogue from any one of these. Okay. There we go. We have to find out what Mr. Bones knows. That works. That is fine. So this is going to be the Mr. Bones dummy, which walks normal. And when Bones briefing is done, it'll just never appear again. Honestly, there's no reason that it would appear again. It's only going to exist for this one scene. Okay. So we've got all of this. Okay. That's fine. So this is going to be Mr. Bones' North Boat. Okay. And we're basically going to have to set this entire arrangement of events here. So instead of this event, it's going to run Boat North. And instead of this event, it is going to run boat north. Okay. That is fine. Okay. So this event, Mr. Bones' North Boat moves down and then disappears. Okay. This is also going to have to completely disappear after we do the Bones briefing. And then the player will do the normal stuff for this as well. Okay. So then Mr. Bones' dummy is going to move up, change his image, turn down, turn off transparent, move down, turn up. Okay. This is such an involved thing I have going on here. So now we need something to make sure we only access Mr. Bones from the north in order to make this work. We need to make it nice and consistent. Honestly, just like a couple dead logs, bit of grass, that should be fine. So you talk to Mr. Bones, we'll add some dialogue. Bones gets on the boat, then the player gets on the boat. The boat and the player move. The Mr. Bones reappears and gets off the boat. The player gets off the boat. We have a little more dialogue. Okay. So, Mr. Bones is going to be here. Okay. Mr. Bones is going to say, we can talk inside. I'm afraid I don't have things prepared for guests, however. Okay. So, now, from his starting position here, he wants to go down one more, to right, turn up. Wait for completion. And then we're going to have Mr. Bones' door. Cool. The movement route is for the Mr. Bones door. Okay, but without a transfer. And after it's done, then Mr. Bones moves up and goes transparent. Okay. That's fine. And then on the fade out, one of the things we can have happen is Mr. Bones' door turns down again and turns through off. So the door should function normally to still transfer you into the right cell, I think. And then we're actually going to create a copy of Mr. Bones' house because it's just going to be a lot easier to do a whole dialogue scene in a completely separate cell. So this is going to be Mr. Bones' house scene. And so if Mr. Bones... if Bones briefing is done, then it goes back to the regular. But if Bones introduction is done, then it will lead into the house scene and it'll be a whole thing. Okay. And we'll be able to test if we are in the right area by just putting a Bones in here. Okay. Let's see how many times we're going to have to run this in order to debug it. Because I suspect it's going to be a few. What is this place? It looks like a city full of zombies. Hold on. I just remembered there's actually a line of dialogue that I never fixed here. Wallachia is in more danger than you realize. Perfect. Okay. Let's run it. Debug walk through the walls so I don't get into battles. What is this place? It looks like a city full of zombies. It's ghastly. That's a bit rude, I think. Who's there? Hello, Elena. Mr. Bones, what are you doing here? I am checking on these poor people, of course. Without a will to guide them, these ones are lost and aimless. What do you know about all this? Please, peace, please. I have been trying to stop the disappearances around the city, though it has proven to be far more challenging than I had expected. We are on the same side. Why haven't you told anyone? I did. Those few I told first were taken, and with their loss, so too did all memory of what they shared with others. Wrong form of two. Wallachia is in more danger than you realize. Please follow me. I will explain everything. I think you may be able to help. Okay. Transition. Good. Perfect. We're not able to backtrack. We are back in Wallachia. We are still able to axe this. The ladder flag is working as intended. Okay. The backtrack prevention system is functional. Okay. That all worked, but Mr. Bones did not become transparent. And this did not disappear. We can talk inside. I'm afraid I don't have things prepared for guests, however. Okay. We've got multiple things to fix here. First off, wrong form of 2. That's fixed. Next thing I want to put here is I want to actually move the Elena event back to its original position for the blocking. Okay, next thing. Back out in Wallachia. So, Mr. Bones, North Boat. Okay, for some reason, I copied everything except the Boat North check. So we need that. The Mr. Bones needs transparent on, not off. We wait about a third of a second before Mr. Bones actually walks in. Okay. Then the door closes. And then we do the fade out. Okay. Hop in and I'll take you across the river. Not hope, hop. Hop in and I'll take you across the river. Good. Okay. Let's test it again. Yep. Good, good, good. Okay. The scene and text are going well. Okay. So now the backtrack prevention point, yes, is back in the entrance to this room. Perfect, just like I wanted it to be. Hop in and I'll take you across the river. We can talk inside. I'm afraid I don't have things prepared for guests, however. Okay. All of that worked beautifully. And that does lead into the proper cell. Good. Okay. And it stops you from going back for now, which is good. So, preventing the player from going anywhere they don't need to be going will stop will stop the event from breaking in any number of ways. We do need to put a self-switch on Mr. Bones here. And when the briefing is done, then we're able to leave that area without any trouble. And okay, at that point, the boat works perfectly well as a ferry to take you back and forth. Mr. Bones does disappear after the briefing point like he's supposed to, so I guess I don't actually need to put a switch on him. He's going to be hidden anyway. And we should be able to get back into the waterfall tunnels here. Yes. Okay. All of that works. And then last thing, after the briefing switch is active, Mr. Bones' front door should lead into the version of his house that's not for the scene. Which it does. And the exit works perfectly. That is absolutely perfect. Okay. And this is going to be the grave that we eventually are able to open up. So if the gravestone can move... Perfect. Alright. So that switch is active and functional. That's pretty good. That's pretty much all set. Alright, so the next thing to do is to run Mr. Bones' house. So we are going to actually reduce the height by 2 and reduce the width. Perfect. And let's shift the entire thing by 2. Okay. Let's add one more height to it. Shift it by 1 and Y plus 1. Good. Reduce the width. Good. And boom. Just like that. Okay. So let's make a better copy of Mr. Bones' house for the scene. Make sure we update the index for this. Okay. And we can start arranging our players for the Mr. Bones house scene. Okay. So, Ryu... this is where the player is going to stand. So, player is here, facing down. And this whole thing is basically just going to be an auto-running event. So we are going to fade out before we do the screen transition. We're not going to play the transfer sound when Bones goes inside. Alright, that is fine. Do we have access to the formation button? Okay. So many scenes in this game are not going to work if we give the player access to the formation button. We're basically always operating under the assumption that the player is going to be Ryu. So right off the bat, that has to go. So player is here. Mr. Bones is going to be here. Malter is going to be here. Elena is going to be here. And then Thatcher is going to be here. So that gives us our various players. So the first thing that happens when we auto-run is we are going to change player followers to off. We're going to turn stepping animation on for the player so that Ryu's just like continually flapping his wings. And then we're going to fade in the screen. Okay. That should be fine. We're not going to need this event. But we should have some music in here. No. Okay, I think that works. No, that doesn't do it for me. Nah. That might do it. That might be the kind of sound that I need here. Okay. So he'll start by saying... I apologize for my lack of hospitality. A gravedigger doesn't earn... A gravedigger doesn't earn much around here. And Malter's gonna really start this heading, start the conversation rolling. Malter, how do I want to present this? Okay. So... Mr. Bones invites you to his party to talk. So we have a good amount of information here that we need to do. Alright, I'm gonna take just a quick break, just a minute. I'll be back in less than 2 minutes. Big stretch. Oh, nice. Okay, I'm back. The hardest part of writing is always writing. Funny how that works, isn't it? Shut it with the niceties. Is that even how you spell niceties? There we go. Shut it with the niceties. And start explaining. Damn it. Okay. So, Mr. Bones will... Where's he standing? Move left, move right, move left, turn down. Okay. Everybody is going to be running a slower movement speed. It is difficult to know where to start. so much has already been forgotten. And I think having Elena chime in here would be the best. We'll prompt him. We'll prompt him to go into the subjects that we need to cover. How are the undead doing this? And this will start leading into the backstory. Perhaps it is best to start there. The undead are not the ones responsible for all of the missing people and the forgotten memories. We'll just say all the missing people and memories. Okay, run a balloon icon on the player, followed by a question mark. And Elena, big open mouth in disbelief. What is doing this? And Bones will explain. It is an ancient horror. An abomination a blight upon the very world and all the things in it. And Malter can be a little short with that explanation. And just say, stop with the fancy talk. And I'll say, apologies. The monster that is feeding upon this town is called a false hydra. All memory of its victims is erased from the minds of the living. All memory of its victims is erased from the minds of the living. It has been nesting in Wallachia for almost a year now. It has killed hundreds. Hey, what? Welcome to the stream. Finally, back on the Community RPG Maker project. Finally providing the actual briefing for this whole, you know, little false Hydra problem. It has walked openly in the streets and simply devoured those that have witnessed it. And anyone those people told Thatcher will chime in. They forget that too? Exactly. The more this thing... the more harm it does, the harder it gets for anyone to remember enough to oppose it properly. And now I am the only one left in the city who is still aware of it. Okay. We'll go for an Elena. And she will ask, how is it that you are still able to remember? And this is where Bones is going to pause for a moment, take a step up, and turn to the right. Mr. Bones? Okay. I was one of the monster's earliest victims. Only the living forget. And do some exclamations here. Player turns right. And this does not make Elena happy. You are... You are allied with the dead. Okay. And Mr. Bones moves back down. We all are. Wallachia is a city of Wallachia is a city of balance. Light and dark. Life and death. The living dwell above, under the sun. And the dead linger below in the dark. Laborers, miners, laborers, miners, protectors. This is how it has always been. It is not a guarded secret, but neither has it ever been widely known. The priesthood, the priesthood, the nobles, and aristocrats mostly knew, as did a decent number of common folk. But the monster is clever. It killed first those who knew, and so turned the city against some of its finest guardians and most what's a good word? And most tireless workers. It has crippled Wallachia. And we'll throw out a malter here. Wait. You mean all them zombies have been trying to protect this city. And we can have Thatcher chime in. And just comment absurd. We can have another player exclamation. Let's see. Okay. With their masters dead and forgotten, with their masters gone and forgotten, the dead are quite the dead are quite simple creatures. They blindly seek out the monster, drawn into the city. And Elena is going to circle back around to an important point. And is going to say, you said that you died. I am what you would know as a lich. I can do better than that. In life, I was a high priest of Wallachia and a shepherd of the dead. Arrangements were made long ago that ensured I would rise up from my death as aware and mind intact. Some months ago, I sought out the monster with a cadre of elite soldiers and a small army of the undead at our side. in a straight battle, there would have been no contest. We descended upon that horror with overwhelming force. And we'll have Elena chime in. What happened? It was only then that we realized how clever this monster truly was. It had made traps for us. And by the time we reached it, our force had been decimated. And in the end, we lost. So he answers like Yoda. Hello, Derek. Good day, mate. Welcome to the stream. It's a hell of a thing working on this sort of stuff. I wouldn't quite say he speaks like Yoda, though. At least I don't think so. Once I actually play through the scene and get to read it, we'll get to see. And in the end, we lost. Wallachia lost many of its best, and much knowledge and awareness was forgotten. I like how she asked what happened, then before the answer. Yeah. That's just the way people tend to communicate, I think. It works. It works well enough for my purposes, I think. I don't know. A lot of this is probably going to get a little bit of adjustment once I see the whole scene play out. When I... what is the time period? Well, it's a fantasy world, and it's really hard to pin that down, because we've got guns, and Pepsi, and magic, and dragons, and there was a rogue space marine. So, it's really hard to pin it down. Basically, I've always just tried to integrate as many viewer ideas as possible into the project. So, as a result, I would say that the setting is inconsistent. It is an exercise in absurdism, and mostly I'm just trying to take completely dissonant ideas and try to make some kind of consistency out of them. Hence why I've now got an entire quest line involving a false Hydra attacking a city. A city that you reach by car, through an underwater tunnel, after fighting a red dragon, in a city that's guarded by a space marine. It's a weird time. When my broken body rose once more, the Hydra tried to destroy it. I barely escaped. And I have been trying to oppose it ever since. There has been more... there have been a few plans attempted since then, but each has met with failure. And with each failure, the city grows weaker and more ignorant to the true threat. Should read the Amory Wars. I will make a note of it. Okay. That is a big scene. Let's take a look at everything I have done so far. Just do my little debug walking through walls. We know this scene works. We know that the boat works. A comic written by Claudio Sanchez. Got it. We can talk inside. Afraid I don't have things prepared for guests, however. Okay. Oh. My boat disappeared. Why did my boat disappear? Oh! Oh, I never added a fade in. Whoops. Okay. No? I don't know why that broke. Okay. We should be there, facing down. Why was this invisible? You shouldn't have been invisible. The boat north moves. Boat north check off. Okay, so boat north check turns off. So this page of the event is inactive, so the boat should be visible. Bones briefing is not on, so this shouldn't be here. So, oh, right, it's because Bones' introduction never turned on. All right, that's fine. That's fine. That's not actually broken then. It's just because I didn't do the scene down in the tunnel. Now, what the hell was going on here? We trigger the auto run. Yeah. Okay. Let's go ahead and change that. And then go back into... Yeah. Whoa. Okay, you are not working like I want you to. Okay. I think it was because it was like a half-broken transfer event from when I deleted and replicated the house. So you should be going to the house scene here, facing down. And then in the house, followers off, stepping animation on so it looks like Ryu is flying. Wonder if any old RPGs have been made one-to-one with this, like Phantasy Star. Probably not perfectly one-to-one, but you can make almost any classic RPG system in RPG Maker. Especially when you start messing around with plugins. Okay, let's give it a shot. Alright. Flop through the scene. So this time I'm going to actually have the switch working so the boat will appear properly. I do enjoy my tea. Okay. Do 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 do. Okay, yep, boat's here, just like it's supposed to be. Perfect. Okay, now it's working. I apologize for my lack of hospitality. A gravedigger doesn't earn much around here. Shut it with the niceties and start explaining, damn it. It is difficult to know where to start. So much has already been forgotten. How are the undead doing this? Ah, yes. Perhaps it is best to start there. The undead are not the ones responsible for all of the missing people and memories. What? What is doing this? It is an ancient horror, an abomination, a blight upon the very world and all the things in it. Stop with the fancy talk. Apologies. The monster that is feeding upon this town is called a false hydra. All memory of its victims is erased from the minds of the living. It has been nesting in Wallachia for almost a year now. It has killed hundreds. It has walked openly in the streets and simply devoured those that have witnessed it. And anyone those people told, they forget that too? Exactly. The more harm it does, the harder it gets for anyone to remember enough to oppose it properly. And now I am the only one left in the city who is still aware of it. How is it that you are still able to remember? Mr. Bones? How... Okay, that's a duplicated line. Don't need that. Actually going to need a couple of notes here. Repeated line after Mr. Bones moves. Mr. Bones gets off the boat at too fast a speed. Add delay to Mr. Bones' pacing. I was one of the monster's earliest victims. Only the living forget. You are allied with the dead. We all are. Wallachia is a city of balance. Light and dark, life and death. The living dwell above under the sun, and the dead linger below in the dark. Laborers, miners, protectors. This is how it has always been. It is not a guarded secret, but neither has it ever been widely known. The priesthood, the nobles, and the aristocrats mostly knew, as did a decent number of common folk. But the monster is clever. It killed first those who knew, and so turned the city against some of its finest guardians and most tireless workers. It has crippled Wallachia. Wait, you mean all the zombies have been trying to protect this city? Absurd. With their masters gone and forgotten, the dead are quite simple creatures. They blindly seek out the monster, drawn into the city. Wait, but you said that you died. In life, I was a high priest of Wallachia and a shepherd of the dead. Arrangements were made long ago that ensured I would rise up from my death aware and mind intact. Some months ago, I sought out the monster with a cadre of elite soldiers and a small army of the undead at our side. In a straight battle, there would have been no contest. We descended upon that horror with overwhelming force. Let's say descended into the monster's lair instead. What happened? It was only then that we realized how clever this monster truly was. It had made traps for us, and by the time we reached it, our force had been decimated. And in the end, we lost. Wallachia lost many of its best, and much knowledge and awareness was forgotten. When my broken body rose once more, the Hydra tried to destroy it. I barely escaped, and I have been trying to oppose it ever since. There have been a few plans attempted since then, but each has met with failure. And with each failure, the city grows weaker and more ignorant to the true threat. Okay, and then it'll loop because I haven't actually finished the event yet. I think that's good. I think that's actually really good. I think that's really good exposition. Yes, okay. You want to start by moving slower, so that solves that issue. There is a repeated line after Mr. Bones moves, apparently. There. That's the repeated line. Add a delay for Mr. Bones's pacing. Fair enough. So move left, wait 10 frames, move right, wait 10 frames, move left. Let's actually bump these up to 15 frames. That's a quarter second. Yeah, quarter second should be good enough for a slight delay. And lastly, okay. We descended into that monster's lair with overwhelming force. Perfect. Okay, so that takes care of those. Mr. Bones backstory, Wallachia backstory. So the things that we still need to mention are Mr. Bones saying you can use the boat to go back, a mention of Elena's missing sister, and where to find the false Hydra and how to enter the catacombs. And with each failure, the city grows weaker and more ignorant to the true threat. Okay. So how... Alright, let's have Malter hop in here. Malter can say, then what the hell are we supposed to do? Okay. I have an idea. I know how we are going to get out of this situation. Okay. Okay. Problem solver. A new key item. And it is going to be just a bomb. A powerful explosive device prepared by Quartus. It is Quartus, right? Yeah. A powerful explosive device prepared by Quartus. There is a note attached. There is a note attached reading, solution. Okay. Then what the hell are we supposed to do? Hold on. They said we could get the grid fixed. We could tie this to having the Pepsi portation grid open. We can just work around that whole issue. We'll just say he got a bomb earlier. I have managed to procure a device that will annihilate the monster for certain. I simply need heroes strong enough to deliver it there. the Hydra is not the only foul thing that lurks in the depths of the Undercity. And Elena will comment. So we need to go down there, find this monster, no. No. I know what I can do. Okay, alright. I know how to expand on this. That will annihilate the monster. Okay. I managed to procure a device that will annihilate the monster. I sent it with one of Wallachhia's best warriors a couple weeks ago. But she did not return, and she has been forgotten. Okay. Now, she did not return, and she has been forgotten. It will take powerful heroes indeed to brave the creatures of the Undercity and destroy this It will take powerful heroes indeed to brave the creatures of the Undercity of the... I don't want to sound like the Undercity's full of monsters. To brave the creatures of the caverns below the Undercity and slay this demon once and for all. And then Mr. Bones is going to turn left. And Ryu's going to do the sweat mark. And Malter's going to be like, what? You mean us? And Mr. Bones will say, well, You do have a dragon with you. Surely that will provide some advantage. And then the player will sweat again. Then we'll have Elena say something. Don't forget me. I'll rip that thing apart. And Mr. Bones is going to turn down. And we'll say, I would very much prefer for you not to be involved, Elena. And then Elena will have an emotional reaction to that. Declaring what? Why the hell not? And Mr. Bones, moving slow indeed, is going to move up. And is going to say, I fear I have already done enough harm to your family. And Rio's gonna go with the question mark. And we'll just have a Thatcher line here. She hasn't spoken in a while. So let's ask, what do you mean? And Mr. Bones will turn down. The one I sent with the device and this is where we will fade out the background music over a good 5 seconds. And Mr. Bones will turn up. Wait a second, turn right. Wait a second. And then turn down. No, and then walk down. And say, it was your sister. And then we have Elena talk again. What? But I don't... And she'll scream no. Okay. And then Elena will go down to and leave. Which is going to run the door sound effect. After Elena changes to a faster movement, goes down to, and we have the door opening effect, and then Elena goes transparent. Okay. And for the sake of simplicity, we're going to apply a bunch of throughs on everybody. Okay. So that'll be the first part of this. So then you'll come out here and you'll see Elena run into her house. And then you'll go in here for the second part of the briefing. And then that's where you will be able to access the gravestone. And that'll add a bit of nice melodrama to everything. Okay. Okay. All right, what can Thatcher say? And then I need some kind of prompt. We're going to have Elena leave the party for a minute. And Mr. Bones is going to say, how should he put this? Let's follow. Let's follow her. This is going to be... How should I put this? Okay. Okay, stop standing around and follow her. So, first, we're going to have Thatcher, who's going to move right and down. And then turn transparent. And we're not going to wait for the completion. Then we're going to have Malter, who's going to move left, down, down. Left, down, down, left, down. Okay. Good. And we play the sound effect when they both leave. And then at the same time, player, stepping animation off, move down, down. Down, right, right, down, down. Right, right, down. And then turn up. Which I think will all work from the starting position of here. And Mr. Bones will comment, Elena lives just south of here. I suspect that is where she went. Please return to me. When you are done checking. Please return to me when you are done checking on her. Okay. And with that, we're going to turn on the switch. Bones briefing. Then the player is going to move down, change speed, back to normal. That should be fine. And then we're going to have the transfer. Okay. Which leads to here. And specifically, we're going to fade out, transfer, change player followers to on, gather followers, and then fade in the screen. Okay. And this is going to be Elena on auto run. That activates when bone briefing is done. And they're going to have a movement down, 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 right. So from this position, down, right, down, down, down. Okay. One more down. 1, 2, 3 right. So from this position, you're probably not going to see them go there. So that's enough movement. You turn transparent on, you turn through on, and you turn on the self switch. Okay. I think the whole scene will work. This is going to be as far as we go for today's stream. We're going to skip this event since we've already seen it. But we are going to turn on the Bones introduction as though we had done that scene. We go across the river. We can talk inside. Okay. It is difficult to know where to start. We will proceed from where we were. Okay. Then what the hell are we supposed to do now? I managed to procure a device that will annihilate the monster. I sent it with one of Wallachkia's best warriors a couple weeks ago, but she did not return, and she has been forgotten. It will take powerful heroes indeed to brave the creatures of the caverns below the Undercity and slay this demon once and for all. What? You mean us? Well, you do have a dragon with you. Surely that will provide some advantage. Don't forget me, I'll rip that thing apart. I would very much prefer for you not to be involved, Elena. What? Why the hell not? I fear I have already done enough harm to your family. What do you mean? The one I sent with the device... It was your sister. What? But I don't... No! Poor girl. I'm sorry. Stop standing around and follow her. Elena lives just south of here. I suspect that is where she went. Please return to me when you're done checking on her. Oh god, why are we moving? What? Oh, okay. It was ordering the player to move instead of the event. Okay. Little awkward there. I also want to have... Yeah, one less down. And at some point, I want the player to have moved down. Okay. So this is the spot where the player moves down and turns right. So that should all line up. And then the sound of the house clicking is not going to work because none of these events are actually waiting. Alright. One last check just to make sure that the Elena movement is lined up properly. And then that will be it for today's stream. I feel so good getting back into this project. Okay. Oh, right. Right. That doesn't actually work. Okay. Because I didn't turn on the bones introduction. Okay. Whoop. Okay. Alright. Bones introduction. Okay. Just play through the scene a little bit more. Okay. Good. Elena lives just south of here. I suspect that is where she went. Please return to me when you are done checking on her. Good. Okay. So Elena runs over there. We want her to move faster, though. We want to really see her running. And then last thing to fix from today's events is that before the player moves, we want to set the speed back to the slower and then change the speed back to normal after they are done moving, which is good, and we can get rid of this one because it is now a redundant command. All right, perfect. So, what have I accomplished today? We didn't have Mr. Bones say we can use the boat. We can check on that later. We have mentioned Elena's missing sister. These are the two pieces of information that we will get after a short scene in Elena's house. We do still need to build Mr. Elena's house. But for getting back on track with this project, this has been really good. I'm back into it. I'm excited. We've laid down a lot of exposition. Next week, we're going to be doing some more scene design, but not nearly as much as we were doing today. And we are going to begin construction on the Necropolis hub area, which is going to serve as the starting point for the next set of dungeons that are going to pop up. So that is the plan. I feel really good about what has been accomplished here today. But I do have other things that I do need to do today, so this is going to be where it stops. Thank you all so much for watching. If you are interested, I do have a link down in the description of this video to my Discord channel. You're welcome to go there, hang out. I do have an area on that Discord dedicated specifically to the Community RPG Maker project. The entire point of this project has been to integrate as many player ideas and suggestions as possible. If you have ideas or suggestions for this series, for this game that is being built, leave them in the comment section of any of my videos. Leave them in the comments or the chats on the live stream, or bring it down on the Discord. Unless it is something I truly cannot do, I do make an effort to integrate any idea that is offered. So you can help change and determine the direction of this game. And I would absolutely love to do that. There's already so much here that I did not come up with myself, and I want to keep adding more. I also have daily videos that come out. Currently, my current daily series are Mass Effect, which I swear I'm going to finish at some point. And also a new series I have started. I have been playing The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, and I am just adding dozens of mods to it and continually adding more each episode, showing a lot of what different mods can do. This is the original Oblivion. This is not the remaster, but this is something I've wanted to do for a long time. Basically, just modding Oblivion until it becomes actually impossible for me to fix it when I inevitably break it. And I haven't quite managed to break it so far. So that's actually going to be a really fun series to do. There's going to be another MMORPG Tycoon video coming out. I also play Mindustry. You know what? I do way too much stuff. Let's just put it that way. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all on the next one. It is time to make the sound to summon the end of the stream. Whoa, 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 whoa.